use the sheeter, because some of you either have at your jobs or will.
It's a very interesting machine.
All right, so come on over here. I'll show you how this thing works.
Just like the only
All
time
right,
out of these.
so inside here, there are two gigantic steel rollers, like rolling pins, but they're made out of stainless steel, and they're far apart, like this. And this brings them closer together. So if you can imagine those old, black and white movies from, the silent movies, where they would like take a hand crank dryer, right? They take the clothes and they put them through the dryer. That's exactly what this is. There's two rollers in there that you bring closer and closer together. And as you turn this on, this belt is going to move, this belt is going to move, the dough is going to go through. Those rollers are going to roll the dough for you automatically. It comes out this side, you lower it a little bit. Sometimes you do the same dimension, twice in and then out, then you lower it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until you get the dough to be the right thickness that you're interested in. So, right now, like I can put my hand all the way through those two rollers, okay? So we'll start with about there. And if you would pass me that dough. The machine takes a little bit of getting used to. You can do this with puff pastry dough, you can do it with croissant dough, you can do it with pie dough, you can do it with pizza dough, you can do it with any dough that you can manage to put through here, okay? So what's going to happen is this. We're going to start the machine here, this is going to come through, I'm going to catch it over here, okay? Red stops it. And you can just reverse it, okay? Flour is good. Usually there's a bin of flour here, but this thing's full of dust, so I'm not going to put any flour in there. Now we're going to close this down a little bit. Let's see if it actually, you might see the difference now. Flour is good. You don't want dough to stick. So, you can see it's getting a little bit thinner and a little bit longer. It's a very even process and it's very fast. Okay? And you want to take this down to, I would say, nothing more than 1/4 of an inch. The only thing you really have to be concerned about, and not with this particular piece of dough, but you see how long it's getting? So sometimes you end up like rolling it over your arms and draping it and everything, That's about the only thing you have to be worried about. So we'll give it one more time. Yeah, that's good. So that's a sheeter. Once you get the hang of it and you have a lot of dough to work, it's a very fast, efficient way to do things, right? Because usually, if you're making croissant from scratch, I would assume that you have a sheeter somewhere in your shop, because no one's going to do it by hand. It's a lot of work. I mean, just physical work. So that's how the sheeter works. Yeah.
Do you also have like the disadvantage of like making it too thin?
You can.
Rolling it?
Yeah. And mess it right up.
Right,
that's about as thin as you want. I wouldn't go any thicker than that. I wouldn't go any thinner than that, okay? So now, let me get this dough set up so it's the right size rectangle. I'll show you how to mark off 2/3 of the dough, and we'll spread the butter over it, and you'll see the initial roll-in of the fat, okay? So give me a few minutes.